Welcome to Chew the Fat. I am your host, Smoove, and today we are going to go over a show called Grilling from Standout TV. In this particular case, we have Myron Gaines of the Fresh and Fit podcast, who is being interviewed / dated. And we're going to go over some of the modern dating talk. This is more an interview than a date, in all honesty. That's how most of these go on Grilling. But they call it dating for fun, and maybe it did start out as dating at some point, but it ended up being more so interviews because I doubt that Ms. Reynolds would date any of these guys who she interviews. Let's be honest. But we're going to get into it. I'm going to interject quite a bit. So if you wanted to watch the full video, it's there on Standout TV, but we'll just go over some of the things that they do and the talking points. So let's get right into it. We're going to jump into it. I like to hear it. Here it goes.
I'm not going to let a girl look at my phone.
Why?
Because I'm going to have other girls in there. 100%.
Hi, I'm Sharon Reynolds and I'm back. New season, new dates. And to be honest with you, I'm not impressed with the dating scene.
I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead.
I've given some high scores.
I thought we might as well do the date properly.
Ah, see, I like this. And I've definitely given some low scores.
So, like, I'd just say Venus Caribbean langers with nice jocks.
Oh my God. It's time to find a man that can tick all the boxes.
Do you know what? There wasn't actually any red flags. Wow.
Myron Gaines. I'm here to go on a date, I think. Or a debate, I don't know. Someone put a bag over my head and told me to show up here, and they just brought me here. And I'm here.
Do you go on a lot of dates?
Ooh. We're in England, so I can't invoke the fifth. Damn, what do you guys say when you don't want to incriminate yourself here in England?
No comment?
Yeah, okay, no comment.
By that, I'm judging you're a one night kind of guy.
2 to 3. I try to keep my retention somewhat high. I need a good rating on, what do you guys use here?
TripAdvisor.
You guys use TripAdvisor? It's in 1997? What the hell?
Can Cheyenne ask you whatever she likes?
Yeah, I got nothing to hide unless it's like former government stuff. But other than that, I'll say whatever that I can disclose.
Yeah, and finally, are you ready?
I think so. I don't know. The dudes that kidnapped me and brought me here, they said it would be fun. I don't know. Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Myron,
you.
pleasure to meet
Myron.
you. You gonna give me a hug or what?
Oh,
Don't be
okay, hug. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Chilling.
You smell nice.
Thank you. I try.
He made me hug him. I don't know why I done that.
Because he asked you to. See, what he did was Myron Gaines is really big on asserting his dominance off the rip. So he wanted to catch her off guard. And I think he did assert his dominance right off the rip by just making her do something that she was not necessarily comfortable with.
How are you?
Chilling.
Chilling?
Doing well. Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Good. It's a bit hot in here though, so my hands are a bit
Yeah,
like,
it is warm. I will say that. It's definitely
Yeah.
warm, but it's called
She's
grilling,
nervous.
right?
Oh, I like that.
So. Attractive but typical girl.
So tell me about you, Myron.
I'm a professional misogynist. No, I'm just kidding.
Great.
Loved by some, hated by many. Just
Yeah?
on the internet, yeah.
On the internet. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're both on the internet. I've
Yeah, we are.
seen.
It's a strange life.
Yeah.
Very
I've seen
strange.
some videos. You're not a fan of me, are you?
You know, I'm not a fan of many things.
Yeah.
You just happen to be in there maybe a little bit.
Why is that?
We disagree on some things.
I think we might get on though. That's why I'm like interested. Off to a great start. He hates me.
I think it's very important to be able to articulate your views, and if you don't agree with someone, it doesn't mean you have to hate them, but
Exactly.
you know. But I think being too agreeable is not good. Very
Really?
bad, especially as a man. Because typically if a guy is too agreeable, you can't trust him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because all men want to get laid. And if you don't tell the truth and you're just being agreeable, well, he's trying to get laid and he's trying to lie as well. So.
Well, at least the man actually admits all men are trying to get laid.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's absolutely pointless to have a female friend.
No, it's not pointless.
In all honesty, I think that some men are just agreeable because they were bred that way and they're just too soft. Not everyone is being deceitful. Some people are just really soft and they will be agreeable and it won't get you far in the dating world today. I can tell you that. Or any day for that matter. Carry on.
To have a female friend.
Very pointless. 100%. Why would guys sit there and be friends with girls? It's pointless. Stupid.
So you don't have any female friends?
Absolutely not. It's a waste of time.
How is it a waste of time?
Because women don't offer much utility to you as a guy.
What makes you think that?
Well, I mean, if you get in some kind of fight, she can't do nothing. What's she gonna do? She's like, oh my God. It's like,
why would you want a woman
if
that
anything,
fights?
she's a liability. That's what I'm trying
No,
to
but a
say.
woman would fight. Like, I'd fight a woman for you if you're my man.
I don't want my girl to be involved in any type of physical.
Miss Reynolds, I don't think you could fight. I couldn't see her getting into a fight. And I know you shouldn't prejudge, but yeah, I'm going to prejudge. I don't think she'd get into a fight for you. And if she did, she'd probably get trashed.
Confrontation.
Really?
That's not her job. That's my job. So I look at it like, if I'm with a girl and I'm supposed to protect her and provide for her, etc., I want that to be my woman. I'm not going to give that type of energy to like a friend. That's stupid. Why am I going to put my life on the line for a girl that doesn't even suck my dick? Wait, but is that too much there?
I think you should just be able to have a friendship with women though.
Well,
Firstly, it's not always like men versus women. So I kind of feel like having female friends will give you that balance to understand like there's actually nice, normal women out there that aren't just trying to sleep with you like for your money or everything like that. We bring a lot of value.
I've interviewed almost 1,600 women now at this point, and I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, women are absolutely terrible at being understanding what it takes to be attracted to women.
Another one. Another one.
He really did say, listen.
Another one.
I've interviewed nearly 1,600
and
women.
Another
So
one.
what I'm saying is the gospel. Let's get it.
As a man. So their advice typically is not good at all.
1,600 women. Poor women. Men carry like a lot of like...
And just to elaborate on that point here, I would absolutely say that women do offer plenty of insight. Not most of, but a good portion of my perspectives is actual testimony from women. A lot of my knowledge about women is gained from actual interactions with women. Many of them are friends who don't have any vested interest in me to the point where they care about a relationship. So they have nothing to lose by giving me game. So in that perspective, I certainly find that women friendships do serve some type of purpose and offer value. However, you must be very careful with woman friendships because most of them will try to steal your boyfriend energy anyway. So you have to be very careful with that. You'll witness a lot of dry begging and different things like that. So you have to just be very careful when you do have women who are friends. So you have to know how to navigate that. So just be very careful when you do have women friends. You have to be able to take what you can get without offering too much of yourself. Carry on.
like hurt and they push it on women.
Okay. Hurt in what way?
Yeah, I think it's because, like, for example, this incel culture, which, like, respectfully, like, your podcast really brings to life. You're just projecting onto women unnecessarily. Because there's a lot of good women. Like, I myself would say I'm a good woman. I don't do anything wrong. I'm very loyal. I'm a kind woman. And a lot of men will make the assumptions because of podcasts like yours and people and men like you to then push that onto me, that I'm this kind of woman. I'm a gold digger and I'm this and that, and I'm not.
Well, the reality is, would it be fair to say that most men, I mean, you said there's a whole incel culture, etc. Would it be fair to say that most guys are losers and don't really measure up?
I personally don't think that, but
keep it
I
a
know,
thousand.
No, but I'm saying
Keep it a
no,
thousand.
I personally don't. Like, genuinely, I don't.
Okay.
He's right about that. Most guys are losers. In all honesty, according to social standards and what women expect from men, yes, men are considered losers for the most part. And you get on any dating app, if you've ever been on the dating app, any dating app, then you will understand that. Men, for the most part, are considered losers. Does that mean you are a loser? Maybe. But according to society standards and what women think, which is what matters because you're trying to date women, yeah, you would be considered a loser, unfortunately. And you'll know if you are a loser if you don't get the results that you want. You will not get the hits that you think you should. They go to the top 10 to 20% of men. So the rest of you would be considered losers, unfortunately. That's why you have to work on your game. You have to get better in every aspect. You have to make sure you groom properly. You have to make sure that you are a high earner. You have to make sure you are a hard worker. You have to be confident, assertive. These are a lot of the characteristics that women look for. And it's very hard to obtain those characteristics with how most of us are raised right now. Generation X has done a poor job in raising men. So it's up to us to correct that. We're going to carry on.
Okay, Jamie,
being
don't.
politically correct. I'll keep it real since you don't want to. Most guys, I'll be honest, are fat, losers, and don't have leadership qualities. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. And most women, quite frankly, are terrible. They're whores, fat, rude, crass, whatever it may be. And most of them don't qualify for a relationship, and most guys don't qualify to be the leader of said relationships. I think it goes on both parts. Okay, the men are weak, and the women, there's a bunch of issues there. So what we basically highlight on our podcast is you need to be the best version of yourself. And I think the thing is that guys are yearning for this because we've been lying to men for the better part of 5 to 6 decades about what being masculine and strong actually is. We've been demonizing it when in reality, guys need to become stronger. Because no woman wants a weak man, even though girls say dumb shit like, oh, well, you know, I want you to be emotionally intelligent and get in tune with your feelings or whatever. It's all a lie. Oh, see. Okay.
No, but I personally would like a man that's emotionally available and emotionally intelligent, but it's not me saying like, I want you crying all the time. So,
in all honesty, women ask for certain things that they know or don't know, that they don't want. Women will constantly tell you that they want someone who's emotional, they want someone who's caring, they want someone who has emotional intelligence, which I have videos on that too. But that's not what they want. That's not what they respond to. The men that they actually respond to are the men who don't care, the men who are worried about themselves, who are on their purpose. And this is generally because there are some rare cases where you will find a woman who does appreciate these things and will still respect you, but it's not very common. So you can try to obtain women that are very scarce. It would be just like a woman looking for somebody who's in the top 10%. You can find it, but in all likelihood, you probably won't. So go ahead with that if you want to.
do you know what I mean? It's true though. Like, so I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you have to give some room for men because like men's mental health is a serious like issue.
We tell guys not to be vulnerable in front of your girl. You know, you go ahead, you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to shed a tear, whatever. You do that around other men that understand, you know, the male experience. Women don't understand the male experience at all. And it goes to show, like when I said earlier, when you put the girl in a male perspective, I want you to pick up this girl. They always fall flat on their face because women are in a privileged position where they don't have to necessarily understand what it takes to attract the man because men come to them.
For me, as a partner, I would want to be able to give my man a safe space to be able to be vulnerable, and it's like, but not completely like, oh my God, cry all the time, but just so he knows like, it's like things are okay. You know, like it's supposed to.
No, she don't. No, she don't.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
I'm just gonna say no, she don't. That's ludicrous. Go ahead and cry in front of your woman and see what happens. There are some instances if a close relative dies, that's expected. If you're a human being and you have blood flowing through your veins, then yes, it's expected that if a close relative dies or something like that, that's fine. But if you were to lose your job or having financial difficulties or someone's harassing you or whatever, these other issues is unacceptable. You can't be too emotional around women. They need the safe space. They need the security, the emotional security. This is how women actually see emotional security in you. When you are strong, when you're not acting like a wimp, it's not acceptable for you to cry all the time.
To be a partnership.
No, it's not a partnership.
Why
That's
is it not?
another common lie in modern day dating. It's not a partnership.
But I want a
whatsoever.
partnership though.
Question for you. Do you want a man that's taller than you? Idealistically speaking?
Ideally, probably, because I like to wear heels. I like to be seen.
Fantastic. Do you want a guy that's stronger than you?
Yeah.
Do you want a guy that makes more money than you?
I'm not fussed about money.
Okay. Well, you want it to make at least your equivalent, if not preferably better. Remember, this is your ideal guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a guy that's more confident than yourself?
Yeah.
More experienced than yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, you basically described the superior. So you expect this guy to come in and have a partnership with you?
Whatever he might excel on, I'll also add value in other ways, because it's not always about being physically on par with that person just for certain requirements. Like, you can't birth a baby, you know, and things like that. So we complement each other in other ways, and so we're still equal in that sense.
Men and women are not equal at all. At all. That's another fallacy that we have in modern day dating culture, which...
He's correct on that aspect, because for you to be equal, you have to be the same. We are not the same. And for a functional heterosexual relationship, you must have a leader and you must have someone who's willing to follow. It doesn't mean that you are the master. It doesn't mean that you are the boss. You are just the leader. And women, in most cases, don't have a problem following in the workplace. They can understand that part. But when it comes to relationships, they feel like they're supposed to be some type of partnership. And, you know, I did a whole video with the Swiss Beats situation with Alicia Keys on how that cannot work and have a woman respect you. If a woman feels like she is your equal, she won't respect you. This is just the facts. A woman does want someone who is more prepared, smarter, taller, stronger. This is what women are attracted to. Women are hypergamous by nature. They are hypergamous creatures. You can't fight biology. We're going to carry on.
Leads so many women astray. We're not the same. There's certain things that men can do that women can't do, and vice versa. And we're different, and we're designed to complement each other. And I don't believe in partnerships. I think men come in and lead, women follow. And I find it funny because women typically want a man. And here's the thing. What you just described is what every girl wants. But they think that they're going to go into a relationship with a guy that's better than them in every single metric, and it's going to be an equal partnership or 50-50. It doesn't work that way. There's always a leader. There's always a decider. And for it to work, the man's got to be in a leadership role, never the woman. Women can't lead anything.
Yeah, we can.
No.
It creates too much pressure on you as a man then. Because if you want to be this like macho man, do you not think that's going to cause a lot of strain on a relationship?
Pressure creates diamonds. Because here's the thing. Women are just the cherry on top. Like, you should have already built the cake by the time she comes into the picture. You know, you should have already conquered a boardroom or conquered some kind of physical labor, or played sports at some point in your life, endured some kind of stress. Like, men need to go through pain. Men must become. Women are, men must become. Being a loser is unacceptable. If you're broke, fat, or you don't got your stuff together, that's your problem.
Yeah, but then men like you would complain about women because you'd say, oh, they only come for like the glory of it, like, and not the graft. So I'd rather be with someone that I'm building with.
Oh, I've never said that women build. I actually say the contrary. I say women don't build, they move in.
Yeah, but
I acknowledge that cold reality 100%. And I tell guys they need to build the castle so that she can come in and, you know.
Men who know what time it is generally don't complain about what it is that women want. They accept what women want. If you don't like the results that you're getting, the only thing that you can do is improve. If you have a lot of money and you don't get women, that's because you are not performing in the way that you should. There are other aspects that you must accomplish as well. You're also going to have to make sure that you look a certain way. You need to be in shape. You need to build on your character. You need to build on your charisma. And the mistake that a lot of men make is that they'll get to a certain point in their lives, they'll get a lot of money and think that everything is going to fall into place. I've covered some videos on that. You guys got to check that library. But there are many other factors that are important. You have to make sure that you are doing good at everything in order for you to get the best possible result.
You know, put some things up here and there in your castle, but at the end of the day, you got to build the structure. Women aren't going to build it with you. Those days are done. Women want a guy that's
Some women do, though. Like, a lot of women do.
Some?
No, a few. Like, the ones I know.
I would say a minority. A majority want a guy that comes pre-assembled.
What is he talking about?
So we got to go off of the majority, not the minority. If I'm advising men how to, operate in the dating marketplace, I can't tell them, look out for this 10% that wants to build with you. No, the reality is most women want you to come pre-assembled. And to be honest, the most attractive and youngest women that have the most options, they definitely want you to come pre-assembled. Women want winners. They sit at the finish line and pick the winners.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Britain, Connecticut.
Okay.
2 hours north of New York City.
So what was your upbringing like?
Great. Parents were together the whole time, stable. I had a sister, brother. Still, I mean, they're still alive now. I haven't said had. Yeah, like they're gone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I grew up, went to high school, played basketball in high school, played video games, still have my childhood friends to this day. I would say I grew up like in a pretty good situation.
Just gonna say, men, do not play video games. It's a waste of your life. All time spent playing video games could be spent on doing something productive, unless you get your money that way. If that's a way that you can get your money and you're a ninja, go ahead and do it. If not, stay away from the video games. I dropped those and became super productive. That was the one element of my life that needed to go. Leisure, minimize leisure. And video games are extremely addictive, and they consume time like nobody's business. They are the number one reason, in my opinion, that men are not as productive as they can be. Drop video games, fellas. Believe me.
We didn't grow up with money, right? We grew up fairly, poor, lower middle class. My parents struggled, especially in the beginning. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it's important for young men to grow up like struggling.
Yeah.
I think it builds character. You have to do it.
How will you raise a son with your mindset? I'm just curious to know.
I would raise my son to not be a victim. I'm at a point now where very successful financially, but my son would not see any of this money at all. I would make him get it out the mud. Because, like we discussed before, trust fund babies typically don't know what to do in life and how to, they don't understand and appreciate the value of a dollar. And I thank my dad for instilling that in me early. I mean, my first job was at McDonald's and I got fired. And I quickly learned that I didn't want to be in the service industry, but it made me appreciate people in the service industry. So what is this, by the way?
That was a valid question. However, a way better question would have been, how would you raise your daughter? Carry on.
So this is like a tonic wine. When I drink, I'm like quite a mellow person, chill, put you in the mood.
You're not an angry drunk?
No, I'm not actually.
No? Okay, that's good.
I'd be the worst angry drunk.
Yeah, well, I could tell.
So do you not drink?
I don't. It's haram.
So have you never drunk?
I have. I definitely have. But, I mean, it's not really conducive to my life goals at the moment, so I don't really drink like that.
It's just more self-awareness, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as a guy, man, you can't afford to have things that clout your inhibition or your ability to go out there and create and become a better version of yourself. And I think like that's why I'm really big on like not drinking, doing drugs, any of that stuff. You got to be focused all the time.
So how do you?
Now listen, this is what I would say. I've definitely dramatically decreased the amount of alcohol that I consume simply because I am laser focused on my goals right now, and yes, that would absolutely inhibit you from doing so. Now, as far as socially, that's fine. Habits, no, you don't want to be a habitual drinker. You don't want to be a habitual smoker, especially like that. Listen, man, stay away from the drugs, popping pills and all of that, unless you are prescribed and you have to take those. Go ahead and do it, but yeah, keep your substances to a minimal. Socially is okay as long as it doesn't take away from the time that you are supposed to be functioning. Carry on.
Find dating then with the way that you are?
I mean, when you understand the code, it's, plug and play. It's like, okay, deal with the girl, size her up, figure out what kind of chick she is, and then bam, you already know kind of how to move.
So like, what's the code?
Depends on the girl.
Okay.
You got to be able to adapt based on the woman that you're sitting across the table from. Yeah, I have the female codes in my sleeves. I know pretty much what they all are.
Okay, so how are you adapting to me right now?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I would
I
say...
want the code now, and then I'll ask the code again by the end of it.
Yeah, I would say recreational use only, no offense.
So what's like your... How many...
Listen, I don't know if any of you guys missed that, but he said it so casually, and she accepted it so casually. That's why that whole dating thing goes out the window, like I said, with this particular show, because this is not something that you would say in a date ever and expect to get laid, ever. You can't tell a woman that she is recreational use only. That is what you keep in your mind. He has already killed the idea that he would ever be able to smash this woman, or probably doesn't even want to be honest. But he probably wants to. But he knows he's not going to be able to. He just told her recreational use only. I love it.
Codes is there?
Well, it depends on the girl. You know, if you deal with a girl that's younger, that's in her prime years, well, you got to understand that she's more, inclined to look for fun. If you're dealing with a girl that is in her mid-20s, a lot of times she might be pursuing, it depends on the girl, but she might be pursuing some type of stability or some security, and you got to play to that angle. Or if you deal with a girl that's a little bit older, late 20s, 30s, and up, 9 out of 10 times she's going to want some type of security if she hasn't gotten it already.
Code, it's not even that deep. Like, either you like them or not. You don't need to put them in categories. So what kind of women do you want?
You kind of do. You kind of do. You kind of do. Because what you have to understand, is that women will always purpose you. So it's only fair for men to purpose women as well. Women absolutely have a guy that they keep around, that they like to smash. They also have a guy that they just talk to on the phone. That's just their girlfriend. That's who you are if you're one of those guys that just talk on the phone. She'll talk to you about problems she's having with the dude she's actually smashing. There's also a guy that's saved in her phone called Wallet or Bank, who she calls when she wants that new Birkin bag. Women will purpose you. You must understand this. So we should as well.
You want, sorry.
Me? Mm-hmm. I mean, I could deal with whatever. My thing is, I need her to come into my life and be an asset and not a liability. Right. Most girls are liabilities, to be honest.
Do you think? I think
100%.
the right woman, though, could, like, really just compliment you and make you, like, progress in your life.
Well, you got to train them.
No, you haven't. In order to train someone, you need them to listen. I'm telling you, no woman is listening to you.
Like, most girls come into your life, and if you don't know what you're doing, she's going to come in as a liability, 100%.
No, you don't train them, though.
You have to train them.
It's like training a dog. You wouldn't do that.
Oh, here.
Right. We're going to get into this training thing. See, this goes back to what I was saying a little bit earlier. Women, when it comes to the workplace, they understand. They realize they have to work for it. They go to college at the highest rate ever now. Actually, over men right now, right? So they understand that you have to work for it. They understand that you must be trained. There are certain hours that you must be trained to obtain this position, and they have no problem with it. They don't say, why are you training me? Do you think I'm a dog? They just go through the training. All their computer-based training, all their physical training, they do all of the training. And there's no problem with it. But now when it comes to a relationship, training is a dirty word. Carry on.
Here we go. I knew that was going to...
No, but it's true, though. It's not training. It's not something like, once again, it's just seeing this person as your equal. Okay, but showing the person respect. It's not training.
So I look at it like, if I'm going to have a girlfriend and she's going to be my girl and she's going to have my title, well, she's got to be trained to rise up to a certain level because I'm going to make her into an asset. Buy me a bag, do this, blah, 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 take me on trips, whatever, when they haven't earned it. So you got to detrain those bad behaviors out of that girl and make her an asset into your life versus a liability. Most guys don't understand their value.
Now, if he would have just said vetting, it would have sounded a lot better. But in all honesty, it is training. Carry on.
They bring her onto their life. They give her everything. She hasn't earned it. She doesn't respect him. She's walking all over him. She starts to dictate the relationship. You're not getting sex tonight, blah, blah, blah.
He's so rude. Obviously, this is your experience, so I can't argue that. But there's...
I mean, this is biology. Women are hardwired to extract resources from men. It's been that way since the beginning of time. Biology rules everything, guys. They could sit there and say, oh, but I'm doing this and my truth, blah, blah, blah. Biology rules you. There's one truth. There's no such thing as my truth. Female, typical, blah, 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 trash.
No, but
So, in all honesty, this is true. Women are designed or has at least evolved into resource extractors. They depend on you for resources, mainly financial, and it is what it is. You can't get mad at women for being like this. They're wired like this. You have to accept it. The only thing is, we expect women to offer what it is that we expect as well.
I kind of feel like from my experience, if I'm going into someone's life, I would want to add value, so I wouldn't really take things, and I kind of feel when you...
What did you just say 2 seconds ago? You said in my experience.
Yeah,
I come in and I add a value.
Yeah.
That's you. Majority of women come in, meet the guy. Okay, what can I get from this guy? Okay, this guy's a simp. I'll just take him out on dinner dates he could pay. I'm never going to smash him. Another guy, this guy's hot. You know, I can smash him. I can hang out with him. This guy, he has some utility. He's a plumber. Okay, he can do my plumbing, but I'll give him a BJ once. Girls put guys in roles. It's your job as the man to make sure you're the top guy and you got the main role where you're not investing too much and she's investing more in you. Girls only respect men that they invest in. The girl always has to like the guy more than she likes him.
No, I think it works better the other way around.
When the guy likes the girl more?
Yeah.
Women always say stupidness like this. This is typical feminist nonsense. Nonsense. Shout out to the women who are not feminist and don't behave in this manner. Even if you are a feminist, that's fine, because in all honesty, I would be considered a feminist by the true definition. I want women to excel, right? It's just that the tactics that are used right now, and there is a perversion of feminism as it is right now. What feminine used to be is not what feminism is today. And that's the problem that we have.
That doesn't make sense.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Because women want a man that's better than them. So how do I look if I'm better than you and I'm sitting here chasing after you? It doesn't make sense. Women only respect men that they chase. It doesn't work the other way around.
Once again, with this like new wave of women, we don't want to keep fighting for a man if he's going to treat you like an option.
See, here's the thing. We can say that women are changing, whatever, but we're all slaves to our biology. Women are 100% okay with sharing men. It's been that way since the beginning of time. I would say it's even more apparent now. With Instagram, dating apps, etc., a minority of men are getting a majority of the women. And women are okay with that. I mean, walk into a nightclub. It's probably one of the most carnal representations of human nature. All the women are sitting in one section with a bunch of the guys that have the highest perceived status in that social setting, versus all the other guys are out there in general admission struggling. So, women always gravitate towards the best guys, and they're willing to share those guys.
So what's your type?
So what we have to understand about that is women are willing to share if you are in the top 5 to 10%. If you are not that, it's going to be very difficult to find women who would like to share you. The average man can't apply this to his life, so don't try it. If you are not in the top 5 to 10% of men as far as looks, status, financially, you can't try this. You can't apply this to your life. You will only be able to get one woman. It is what it is. And not every man wants a bunch of women. There's a large portion of men who just really don't care about that. But these guys at the tippy top, they do, for the most part. They want many women because many women pursue them on a regular basis. So they don't see the value in settling for just one woman. It is what it is. And women are the ones who push this because, like he said, in that nightclub scenario, they're all surrounding it. The VIP is popping. That's it. That's what they want. They don't really want to share, but they understand that they have to share if they want to deal with this caliber of man. Those are just the facts. If you don't want to share a man, don't go for top 10% or better. You can't. It's not going to work that way. It's just not going to happen for you. Get yourself a regular guy, which there's nothing wrong with being a regular average guy because most of the women are average too. There's only a few exceptional women. There's only a few exceptional men. Carry on.
My type. Mm-hmm. Fit, feminine, friendly.
Yeah.
Submissive. And coachable. And coachable to be trained. You got to train women, man. I know that sounds terrible.
He's still talking. Fucking hell.
Women don't like it when they get criticized. If I go on a podcast and I say, you know what, guys, you need to stop being bums. You need to get your money on point, stop being fat POSs, etc. They actually admire and respect that. People are in the chat, flame emojis, whatever. I go on rants on the guys all the time. I'm sweating, going crazy. It's like I'm delivering a preach. I think she's trying to grow me, but what she doesn't know is I'm a black belt in this. I've dealt with 10 girls like her at the same time on my podcast, so she's gonna take an L. Women rarely get held accountable for their poor decisions. Men do, though. Men have to live in reality. Women are afforded the privilege of being delusional. So when a guy criticizes a woman, oh my God, right? If you don't believe me, think about it. If a dude's fat, we just call him fat. You're a loser, huh? If a woman's fat, love your curves, girl. You go. She's rude and obnoxious. Oh, you know what? They just can't handle you.
And you have to take that into consideration. Shout to anybody who's in my very small circle of men who actually tell me when I suck or what I could do better. Those are a very good part of what makes me better. You have to have people who will keep it real, honesty, and tell you when you suck. You have to have those type of people around you. And I will tell people when they suck. If they are fat, I will absolutely call you fat. If you're not doing well, I will tell you that. Now, there are some men who may be more sensitive than others and probably won't be willing to improve. And I wouldn't waste my breath on telling those men what it is. But men who understand getting better is important. I will absolutely tell you, hey, dude, you need to watch that. Hey, dude, you need to hit the gym. Hey, dude, what you doing with your money? Why are you trying to spend your money on that whip? You don't need that whip. Not yet. Get yours first. Get to a certain level and then do it. You have to have these conversations. Now, you can't have these conversations with women because they're hypersensitive to criticism. They think all of a sudden you hate them and you're being negative and trying to discourage them. And you'll find a very hard time trying to help women to improve because they take it so personal for the most part. There are some women who can take it, but I don't know many of them. We'll carry on.
Strong and independent, fierce. We have all these terms to cover up female inadequacies, but we don't have these same terms for men.
I think a lot of it comes from like narcissistic behavior from men and misogynistic
Women are far more
views.
narcissistic than men are.
No, women can be, so I'm not disputing that.
Far more narcissistic.
But I kind of feel like with men,
Garbage. Ask any circle of women, rate themselves from 1 to 10. Look at all these shows. Just look. Just type in women rating themselves in a search bar and watch how many of them actually say they're a 10. How many men do you ever hear say they are a 10? Myron Gaines is in the top 1%. It is what it is. He's a millionaire. He's doing what it do. Many of the things that women desire, right? He's not going to say he's a 10. I would never say that I'm a 10. A 10 means perfection, and there's no room for improvement. Men are always trying to improve, always trying to get better. Well, the top 20% do. And that's what you need to do, fellas. Get in that top 10 to 20%, and you'll see what life is like.
that attain a certain level of status and power, it gives you the opportunity to try and to dominate.
Big difference, though.
No, but this is
men
why
earn narcissism.
Men do not earn a right to be narcissistic. Like, just shut up.
Men earn confidence and arrogance. Women don't. Women are born with their value. Men must earn their value. So if a man's arrogant, more than likely he's probably accomplished something. When a woman's arrogant, 9 out of 10 times, she hasn't accomplished anything. She just has a bunch of DMs. See, this is the problem that a lot of modern day women have. They lack critical thinking skills.
Sheesh.
Women tend to go off of their feelings versus what's real. They go off the feels and not the reals. What a girl's supposed to do is come into a man's life, see where he's deficient. Okay, I noticed that you like to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to make sure that you have a protein shake with as many grams of protein as you need.
Just get a PA.
I'm going to make sure that's done, and I'm a deductive problem solver. I'm able to be observant, because that's women's gift, is being observant of social situations. That's why women are socially superior to men. Oh, I thought you were going to say that's sexist. Okay. No, it's never sexist when a guy mentions something about a woman that's positive. So a woman's job is to use that social calibration that they have, that they're superior to men in, and be able to be like, okay, this guy's deficient in this and deficient in this, etc. Let me come in, compliment, make this guy operate. He's already operating at 95%. I'm going to get him to 102. And when you're at a high level already, that extra 2, 3, 4, 5% is what helps you beat the competition.
This guy's dangerous. Women will do that. A lot of women will give you that.
See, one thing that Ms. Reynolds is failing to do is to say what it is that she's actually talking about. She said this guy's dangerous with no context. He's saying some things that she doesn't like to hear, but what about that is dangerous? She didn't explain what is dangerous. What is dangerous about what it is that he said? See how people just try to push these narratives. He's dangerous. That's dangerous. What you just said. You calling someone who's spitting the facts dangerous without explaining why it's dangerous. Carry on.
Life, they will give you that balance, they will compliment you, but they're not going to just do it until you're serious. You know, because men like to play the field for a very long time.
When you're with a guy of value, you got to understand that he has the leverage, not you. You're applying to be his girlfriend. My way or the highway, baby, because at the end of the day, when you can replace a girl, that's when she respects you. It's on the woman to prove to me that she's worthy of a relationship. That's where a lot of girls make a mistake. They'll sit there and say, I'm good, I'm loyal, blah, 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 blah. I want to, see how you do before you get promoted. I'm not going to give a girl the position of secretary or underboss, right, or second in charge of my company unless she's been vetted. She's got to work her way up. The problem is that we give women CEO jobs when they haven't proven themselves and they don't respect the job.
Who's listening to this man?
So here's the thing. You're looking at equality from a human perspective. I'm not saying that men are better than women from a human perspective. I'm saying that men are leaders, so therefore we cannot be equal. When you're on the battlefield, right, and the lieutenant or whoever the commanding officer is on the battlefield, you're not equal to him as, a regular soldier. He is the leader. You're not equal, but there's a reason. There's a hierarchy to dictate order. If the woman is equal to the guy, well, who's going to make the final decision? Nothing gets done by a committee. There always has to be one leader in charge. There's a reason why there's a president, there's a CEO, etc. Both people can't.
I like to call this functionality.
Be alphas, as they say. The problem is this. Women are confused about what men actually want. They think a CEO, a boss, a business owner, ambitious, competitive woman. We don't give a shit about none of that stuff. Men don't care about that. And I would argue the more money a man makes, the less he cares about his woman's ability to earn money. Men and women are not the same. Women basically become the very men that they want to attract.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, so men...
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, there are some men who care about what their woman makes and things like that, right? Now, that's usually men who can't hold it down by themselves, in all honesty. If you care about what it is that your woman makes and how well that she does, then that means you need her for that. And that's fine if you want that type of a relationship. If that's what you're looking for, then you go ahead and you have yourself a partnership. That is a 50-50 partnership. And if you want that, you have to accept the fact that she's going to be making many of the decisions and will not see you as a superior. And that's fine if that's your thing. If you're good with that, there's nothing wrong with that. But you just have to understand that you are not in charge of anything at that point. You cannot hold a masculine frame at that point. It is what it is. And if you're good with that, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. To each his own. For some people, that is a perfectly functioning relationships where both parties can be happy. And that's fine. I don't find anything wrong with that. You just have to understand what it is that you're dealing with. And do not be the type of dude who feels like you can ever put your foot down, because that is not what it is for you. And that's fine, as long as you're fine with it. Carry on.
Like, I find that men will say that they like women that have ambition to start. It's what makes...
It's a lie to get laid.
No, I wouldn't say it's even a lie.
It's a lie to get laid.
It's not, because for me, whenever I've dated and stuff like that, a lot of men say they like the fact that I am ambitious, that I have a career.
They want to get laid.
No, but I'm saying, in general, a lot of men get irritated, nowadays, so you're dating all these women and you're going to say, all these women do this, is they do nothing and they expect. But that's the qualities that a traditional woman would bring. She'd want a man to do things for her, so...
But here's the thing. She complements that man's life.
So do you want a relationship?
Monogamous?
So how many girlfriends do you want?
I mean, as many as I can. I mean, I probably have 4 wives. I think I could do 4.
This man wants 4 wives.
That's a little bit ambitious. I'm going to say that is just a little too ambitious for me, for sure. If he feels like he can handle 4 personalities, 4 wives, you have to not only consider how these women will interact with you, but the interactions that they will have with each other. Now, if you had just you and 1 wife, and then you had, some girlfriends that you would rotate and, whatever. But to have 4 wives. It's possible, but very difficult, very difficult. And as much as he likes to be on his purpose and everything, it's tough. And he's of the Muslim faith, so he has to do everything equally between those 4 partners, equal amounts of time and everything else. You give one a kid, you're going to have to give all of them children, and that's going to be tough. So, I mean, whew, baby. Carry on.
He's going back 500 years?
4 wives is the way to go, because if one acts stupid, you can go ahead and get another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. No guy wants to be monogamous. Man, most guys that are monogamous out of force. If I lined up 100 dudes and I said, listen, man, you can keep your girlfriend, right, while you simultaneously smash these girls and she's not going to care, he's going to take it. Every time. Most guys have to kind of concede to what their girl wants. This stupid quote, happy wife, happy life. I think that's the dumbest quote ever.
I agree. That is the dumbest quote ever. The dumbest quote ever. You can try your whole life to try and make a woman happy, and you will just be miserable. You will be miserable. When you're chasing a woman's happiness, yeah, your life's going to suck. It is what it is.
I mean, it's a good quote.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because a woman's job is to please the man, not the other way around. A woman's job is
to please each other.
Women are pleased by being with the best man in the area. Women are pleased by you being the best version of yourself. As a man gains more status, success, income, etc., the woman wins. All his success, she benefits from that. It's not the same. When a woman makes more money, earns more status, etc., and she starts to outgrow her man, she's going to look for a better man. Men and women are not the same.
So, but some women, we are emotional beings. Like, we will stay with
Which
the
is a
man.
problem. They're erratic.
But we will stay with the man. Like, if a man loves us and is loyal, we will stay.
Really? Is that why women initiate an overwhelming amount of the breakups? Because they're emotional and they're loyal? No. Women are the most disloyal creatures that we have.
Yeah, but I feel like you're...
Which is okay.
Women initiate 70 to 80% of all divorces. Carry on.
So do you like the whole sugar baby kind of lifestyle? Man look after the woman. That's you.
No, not at all.
But that sounds like it. Like,
Not
you want to
at all.
be this provider. So that sounds like it.
Well, here's the thing.
But then you moan about women for doing that. So, you know, if you show that you provide...
I accept that women are hypergamous creatures that want to get their needs met through men. I accept this reality, and I've accepted it a long time ago. I'm a firm believer that men need to be men need to lead, women follow, men pay for dates, men should provide, men should be breadwinners. I think women working should be elective. I don't think it should be mandatory.
This guy is definitely a sugar daddy.
I tell guys all the time, go on sugar sites and use them to date, because there's a lot of girls on there that aren't necessarily, how do I say this, sugar babies that are just looking to be taken care of and paid an allowance. There's a good amount of girls on there that make their own money or just want to deal with a guy that has his stuff together. Let's be honest. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, these traditional dating apps, they fail 90+% of men, and the stats show that. How you meet a woman matters a lot more than...
I would not advise any men to date on a sugar site unless you are planning on doing some serious tricking. If that's your thing, you to pay to play kind of guy, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, stand clear of those particular websites.
And meeting the woman. And what I mean by that is that women place a lot of importance in the context under which they meet you. It's my job as a man to not get finessed.
Did you ever get finessed? Because I kind of feel like you run this flag so hard. Like,
every guy's taking L's. I wouldn't be in a position to be able to give this information if I didn't take plenty of L's.
Listen, he's definitely been finessed before, and now he's like come back with a vengeance. Okay.
Well, if you want to say it like that, but at the end of the day, you have to have some experiences at some point. Most men don't go into the relationship game with ill intentions. What happens is women take advantage of men who are inexperienced. And if you're just getting into the dating game, then you are inexperienced. You don't know how to move around women. It is what it is. You have to take a couple of L's. Everyone, for the most part, has. There are some guys who were fortunate enough to not take many L's. There are some people who actually took the time to learn about dating before dating. Very rare. Very rare. Single digits percentile. Please. That's very uncommon. But yes, for the most part, nearly all of us have taken some serious L's in the dating game. You live and you learn. And it's not that you're coming back with a vengeance. You come back smarter. I wonder if she would say that women come back with a vengeance when all of a sudden they become born again virgins. Is that coming back with a vengeance? If now your standards have raised as your value went down, is that the same thing? Are you coming back with the vengeance then? Would she say that towards the females? Carry on.
Hey, it'll be interesting to see what like your experience with London women are.
Okay, they're not as hot as the girls in Miami, I'll just be honest. Yeah. You know, but Miami's an anomaly. Like, we got the most attractive girls, you know, per capita, like, in some places in the world. Like, if you could compete, like, maybe with Colombia, Brazil, etc. But, yeah, I mean, Miami's an anomaly. Yeah, British girls are not as hot as Miami girls. I mean, but, it is what it is. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll try to womanize here and see what happens. But my standards have went up. Oh, yeah. What?
It's not bad.
That's a good thing. See, it's such a negative term, but womanizers are actually the best guys.
Yeah. Womanize. I hope you meet some women from South. Really?
They know what's attractive. They know how to take a girl on a date. They know how to treat a woman well, etc. It's the weirdos that you guys don't want. The womanizers are the ones you guys want. The misogynists, those guys.
No.
I would argue sexism benefits women.
Did you see her blush just there? She knows it's true. She knows it's true.
Really?
100%.
Why is that?
Because with sexism, it adds a whole other standard and a whole other league for women. I mean, if there wasn't sexism, there wouldn't be a WNBA or a female MLS, or we wouldn't have different standards for, you know, female police officers or female firefighters, etc. I mean, actually in the UK, if I'm not mistaken, female firefighters can fail the test and still get the job, versus a man would never be able to do that. I can't think of anything sexist that benefits men, besides maybe being able to sleep with a lot of girls and being respected, but that's tough to do.
This is ridiculous. What, sleep with loads of women?
Here we go again. She just comes up with these blanket statements. This is ridiculous. No context, though. What is ridiculous about what he just said? What is not factual? Where to lie at? That's the question. Where to lie at?
100%. Very difficult.
I do agree, like, it's a lot harder for men to get sex. But I don't understand, like, why there's so much obsession with, like, this body count and everything and the double standard.
Do you have an issue that men have an issue with a woman's body count, or do you have an issue with men wanting a lot of sex?
A bit of both, really, because I kind of feel like you get mad if a woman is sleeping with multiple men.
Yeah, rightfully so.
But then if you do the same.
Men and women aren't the same. Well, how about this? Let's say me and you are dating, right, hypothetically, and you find out that I might have done some gay porn in the past to make some money. What would happen? Keep it down.
What would happen?
Yeah.
I feel like...
You would break up with me. That's the truth. You would leave me if you found out.
Well, because I would assume that you were gay, and then I'm your secret to cover up your gay
But my
identity.
past matters, right?
No, but it's not necessarily like the fact that it's your past that matters. It's just the fact that you aren't being.
But it was unattractive. That's how men feel about women that have a past. Men are interested in a woman's past. Women are interested in a man's future. Body count matters, ladies. If you're a hoe, you are a hoe by definition. And men are not hoes. We are hoe makers. That's the reality.
Yeah, women get very angry when men don't appreciate a high body count. But there's many reasons, which I'm going to do an entire video on. Look out for that, why body count matters. But I'll just give you a couple of quick reasons. For one, your oxytocin receptors are fried. Once you get to a certain amount of men, you can't pair bond anymore. You can't pair bond anymore. And the stats, they're up there. Women who don't have partners before they are married have a 90% chance of a successful marriage. Over 5 partners, 80% failure rate. For women. Think about that for just a second there. That reason alone, not to mention all the baggage that they're going to have from all these other women, men that they dealt with, maybe women too, but you have to consider that part. That's enough of a reason for me and for most men.
So would you not be with a woman for her family background or whatever like that? Because I kind of feel when you do your background check, those things are really important when you're dating someone, because you kind of want to understand their mindset.
Yeah, there's always exceptions to the rule, but in general, girls that come from broken homes typically tend to have very bad habits. Girls that don't have a father in their life typically tend to have bad habits. Is this all? No, but a majority of women that don't have these things in place typically don't end up being good women in general. They don't have rudimentary basics. Or if they have trauma in their life, whatever, trauma destroys women, but it builds men.
This guy is insane. Like, I actually think he believes his own bullshit.
So as a guy, it's your job.
She's not going to stop, man. She is not going to stop. She is continuously doing that over and over, over and over. No context.
Job to find a girl that isn't, it's going to sound terrible, and hopefully I don't get canceled for me saying this, tarnished.
Tarnished.
Yeah.
It's not really fair to say tarnished.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Because, like, a lot of people do hold themselves accountable and do the work and personal development.
Women?
Well, yes, we do. So before you want to, glad you find it funny. Why does he keep laughing at me?
Most girls don't hold themselves accountable whatsoever. Most girls rarely self-approve, if ever. Most girls think, I'm special, I'm perfect the way that I am, I'm a princess, I deserve the world, and unfortunately, reality kind of smacks them in the face because they can't keep a guy long term. They just get used for sex. And once modern day women understand that you actually have to compete, you actually have to show up to that job interview for that prestigious law firm in a suit and actually be ready to do the work, you're never going to be able to keep a job, or in this case, keep a guy.
Right.
Yeah, so what happens with women is that if you're a baddie, you can get into these circles. You can get into these VIPs. You can get into these different places around these high caliber men, and they will smash because that's what they do. Men will smash. They will typically go way down. There's some top tier men who will go all the way down to 3s just because it's available to them, something to do, right? And what happens is these women feel like because they're able to get these high caliber men in bed, that they can get these men in real life and have them marry you. No, that's not how it goes. Do not get sexual attention confused with someone who wants to marry you. That's not the case. Long term and short term is how men think. Just because you had access to him in bed does not mean you have access to him in real life.
Have you ever suffered with mental health?
No, thankfully.
Really?
If I'm going through something, I'm able to just like kind of use it as motivation to push myself through that time period.
So how do you deal with it? Through fitness, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's
You see how she said, really? This girl be giving out the jabs. She really does. She gives out the jabs. Really? Are you not entertained? As to say, I really think you would have had some type of mental issues you suffered with. We're going to carry on.
It's a big one. I was a Division I athlete in college, and I rode. It's a very painful sport for anyone that does it. So if you can do a 2,000 meter race or a 6,000 meter race, then you can deal with a lot of other stuff. Makes you mentally tough.
Mentally tough. Do you find that you always have to be tough?
Yeah, you can't afford to not be as a man, because the difference is this. When a woman cries on a man's shoulder, that man doesn't lose attraction and respect for that woman. However, if a man cries on a woman's shoulder, she's inevitably going to lose respect for that man. She might not at that moment. She might be there like, I got you, whatever. But there's something revolting from a female perspective to see their man cry. Now, you might not be someone that's like that, but I've had so many women on my podcast say, I thought I can accept it, but when you cried in front of me, it just changed. No. And the reason why is because like there's this visceral like switch in a woman's head. It's like, this guy's crying in front of me, showing weakness. Damn, this guy can't protect me and provide for me, right? Even if it's not true, even if it's like a moment of weakness, it can show something that like, oh, this guy isn't there. Because like women are designed to look for survival value in men. Men are designed to look for replication value in women.
Yeah, I think it's unfair to like completely rule that out, because I feel like it's fair for a man to be able to do that. You are allowed to have a moment of weakness.
Life isn't fair.
But okay, life's not fair. But I think you should be allowed your moment of weakness, and I kind of feel like from a woman's perspective, it will be then how you then deal with that.
I think we should end world.
Man, this woman be capping. Man. This is not how it works. This is not how it is. What she's doing is she's bringing these talking points from an idealistic standpoint. It's not really how it works. That's not how women behave. That's not how women respond. And the problem is when you listen to women's advice, women don't give good advice to anyone as far as dating is concerned. They will tell women to come as you are. He better accept you or you'll get a better one. You go ahead, girl. Get yours. Yeah, okay, cool. That's going to keep women single. And then they'll tell men, oh, you should be able to have moments of weakness. You should be able to be vulnerable with me. I'm a safe space. That's not attractive to women. It's not. Don't believe what women say. Believe what women do. And what women do is they leave you when you behave like a feminine man. These are the facts. Period. Women will keep women single. Women will keep men single. Do not take relationship advice from feminists. Now, there are some females who do know what they're talking about, who do understand, but not many. Most of those, you find them on the YouTube space. We get it. But unless women actually do the research and study this and don't have an agenda, like Miss Reynolds over here, they're not for you. Do not listen to them. I promise you.
World hunger. I also think that we shouldn't have nuclear weapons and people shouldn't be dying needlessly, etc. But I can't operate on should, could, and would. I operate on what is. And what is that women are inherently unattracted to weak men, and crying and showing vulnerability is a component to that.
No. So you wouldn't cry in front of me?
Absolutely not. Never. You would never see that.
Have you ever been in love?
To a woman?
Yeah.
I've had love.
Pause.
For women, but I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's in a man's best interest to be in love with a woman.
But I
You lose control.
So I feel like everything and your standpoint on women is gonna change the moment you like meet the right woman. Yeah.
That's cute, but no. I mean, I have, I've had love for women, but I'm never gonna fall in love with a woman because when you fall in love with a woman, what happens is you start to lose grounding and you start to lose that rational thought. A lot of the stupid things that men do is because of love.
So you're scared to be vulnerable?
No.
And let yourself go and be in love? Like you're gonna...
I think there's a difference between being in love and stupid for love. Now, love, from just hearing many, many different people, it's open to interpretation. So it's nearly impossible to fault what anyone categorizes as love according to the vague definition that they give in the dictionary. There is no concrete meaning for it. There's only a bunch of connotations that people run with. So it is what it is. That's my thoughts on it.
Block yourself from like emotion and to feel for something that could be really amazing for you because you're scared to be vulnerable.
No, because I understand that men and women are different, and men love women far differently than women love men. Men love women for real. Women love men.
Women love men for real.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Women love men under the premise that they provide value. Men love women idealistically. Women tend to love men more from an opportunistic standpoint.
I have a different idea on that. There are some women who love men, I can't say unconditionally, but not on the premise that they must provide something. Hence the Pookies and Ray Rays that they waste most of their youth on. Those dudes don't provide anything except, the eggplant, which is not very valuable because anyone can do that. So men don't necessarily have to provide value all the time because many women do waste their times on those Pookies and Ray Rays. And a lot of that, if you were to ask me, is because it gives them a sense of validation that they are able to help and build a man. Let me know what your thoughts on that are in the comments below.
Yes. You don't?
No,
Can I just say all men say they don't, and they actually do?
I really don't.
You've never done it in your life?
No, I've done it in my life.
So yes.
But the last time I did it was 2014. I remember specifically.
What?
Yeah, never again.
Why?
Female vaginas are disgusting.
No, they're not.
Do you eat vagina? Exactly. Point proven.
No point proven.
You don't do it. Why should I do it?
Listen, a woman's body is beautiful. For me, what I don't understand is like...
Let me know what y'all think about the eating down in the comments below. He said he's never done it except once in his life in 2014. I don't see a problem with it if the female is extremely clean and you are very familiar with her. So, in other words, this needs to go down for the girlfriend/wife, but not everybody. Your typical 304 doesn't get this. That shouldn't be a thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. And there are some people who go as extreme as to say it's a form of dominance and all that. Like, come on. I think you're taking it just a bit too far. And somebody else is probably doing it for your girlfriend if you feel like that. Carry on.
Why it's such a stern no? Because why wouldn't you want to please your woman? You know, because have you not ever seen...
Like I said before, it's a woman's job to please a man, not the other way around.
No, that is actually ridiculous. When it comes to being intimate and in the bedroom, it's not. It's like, when you do something for someone, have you not seen how, and they like it, have you not seen how much they perform better? And I'm not just talking sexually, like in general.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but a woman's ejaculation is irrelevant. You only need one ejaculation to create life, and that's the man's. Now, with that said, does that mean I'm not going to please my girl or whatever? Of course I will, but it's elective.
Definitely shit in bed.
Just like a woman's, duty to go to work is elective, my duty to please her sexually is elective.
That's ridiculous.
How's that ridiculous?
Because, oh, no.
You know what? How about this? With that logic, I'm just going to stop paying the bills.
Okay.
That would be ridiculous,
I'll have to go work then.
Huh?
I'll have to go and work then and start paying the bills.
Hey, and then you'd lose attraction from me, wouldn't you?
But I just don't understand why, I feel if you just started doing...
She would. But we got to go back to that point. I don't feel like woman's pleasure is elective. That's a bit extreme for me. I don't think that that's a good mindset to have. I've heard, the whole DJ Khaled thing, what he thinks about it, and how he never ever eats because he's a king and this and that. And what you have to understand is that
another one.
There is a large portion of women who cannot achieve the O without the eating. That is what that is. They just can't. So, are you going to deprive them of that forever? I mean, at some point, man, we don't want to get it to the point where we're being ridiculous. I think that's a little bit extra to me. A woman's pleasure is important. Seriously, I think it is important. We're going to go ahead.
Doing it, you might have a better relationship.
Well, no.
Your woman might not like it, but I'm just saying, from a standpoint, I don't understand why you have to constantly dominate, even in this scenario. Like, having sex is an intimate thing. It's an energy exchange.
Energy exchange, more typical female gibberish. Like, bro, energy exchange, what the hell? Bro, get out of here with that.
It's a really beautiful thing.
That whole energy exchange thing sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me when you think about it. So what if you had he says he had probably about 300 partners or so. From what I heard last, I don't know. I guess it keeps going up. But so what is he running around with 300 people's energy in him? And what happens? Does one become more dominant? Do they trade places? Is it only the last one as a host? Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand. What?
So why would you not want to make her feel good?
Most women get off on you getting off. That's the truth. If we're going to be all the way about this.
No. Women thought that. No. Women used to think that through porn.
Really?
Through everything. Yeah.
Okay.
But and this is what I'm saying. But women have started pleasuring ourselves, doing things. So now we know how nice certain things feel.
And women are more miserable now than ever before.
Women do get off on you getting off if they are really into you. That's how that works. They have to be really, really into you. She's probably never really been into a guy that much to where she felt like that. But yeah, that's the case. If she's really, really into you, then yes.
I don't think they are.
Women derive their pleasure from serving a man they love, admire, and respect, and their children. I provide. So then you got to provide the ejaculations. Man, I mean, I don't know what's so hard to get about
I'm trying to work out if you're being serious or you're actually like playing a game with me.
I'm dead serious. A guy getting his girl off is elective. They should do it, but they don't have to. Just like I think a man has to work and his woman
Okay, we'll just do it and then just see what you get different results. That's all I'm saying.
I don't do that.
I don't think he's ever going to try it, to be honest. I think that's never going to happen because he doesn't feel like it should have to, so he's probably never going to do that.
I'm not, and if that's what she needs to get off, well, too bad. I'm not doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's a submissive thing too. I'm not.
What is your issue with men submitting to women? Like genuinely, I feel like this is a big issue of yours.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
no, but I'm saying, I'm just saying, don't go into
what?
Don't go into it because you're about to go into it. I'm just saying, genuinely, you have such an issue with just.
You don't like when I use your logic on you.
He has definitely got some issues. No, I just don't like the fact that it's this power dominating thing that you want as a man. Like, yes, you can have it, but just in some situations, just know when to also submit as a man and surrender. Not everyday masculine man.
No,
Glad you find it funny.
Absolutely not. We will not. We don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't concede to women.
So women have been dogs, terrorists. What's the relationship like with the women in your life, like family-wise?
Fantastic. It's actually my mom that taught me a lot of I grew up in a Muslim household, so she was the one that told me, don't commit to these Western women, blah, blah, blah. So my mom is actually like a very strong symbol in my life when it comes to navigating the situation. If it weren't for her, I'd probably be a simp, you know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up but my parents are together to this day. My dad, my dad was the man, my mom was the woman. My dad led, my mom followed, and you know, they have a fantastic relationship, and a big part of that is because they you know, stuck to their roles. And it was my mom that told me from a young age, don't marry these American women, these Western women. They're not going to cook and clean for you. They're not going to take care of you. You're going to come to the home, it's going to be disheveled, blah, blah, blah. And I used to think to myself, like, Mom, chill, what's wrong with you? But now that I'm 32 versus being 12, 20 years later, I'm able to look back on that advice and be like, God damn, Mom was spending some heat back in the day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why you think the way that you think because of your environment and your influence, which is a good thing for you.
Do you hear this lady though? Like, just the power of Christ compels you. The way that she's going about it. Now I understand the way that you grew up. I could see why you think like that. As to say that what he was learning from his mother was extremely dysfunctional. And you can see why he has the problems that he has because he came from such a dysfunctional home. That's what she's implying right here, softly. This is what you call passive aggressive right here.
My background, right? Like I didn't like at first. It was like, okay, I don't agree with this, right? Because I used to be like, you know, growing up American. I was born in Connecticut. I was like, Mom, you're wrong. Like women aren't like that. What's wrong with you? Blah blah blah. Like you're a misogynist, Mom, and you got some ingrained misogyny, right?
You even said that.
No. But I back then I don't even think I knew what that word was. That's like a buzz term nowadays that no one knows the definition of anyway. But anyway, so as I got older, right, like. The things that she started to say started to reflect more and more when I dealt with more and more girls. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And talking with other men, talking with, you know, with women, etc. My experiences, like, and then talking with thousands of men, and then also talking with, I'm in a very unique position where I've talked to both genders on a podcast, coaching sessions, etc. So I'm in a, you know, very certain situation where I'm able to get anecdotal evidence. I have statistics, etc. to back up what I'm saying. And I would say, my approach to dealing with women, dating, relationships, sex, etc., is a very pragmatic way to approach the dating marketplace based on today's scenarios. Would this dating advice work in the 1950s? Maybe not, because women were different back then. But nowadays, they're significantly different. Like from a more negative standpoint, not to a man's benefit. Okay.
Right, it's yes or no.
That's a hell no. Unacceptable, disgusting, would never wife that girl up. Recreational use only, guys.
Why a hell no? What's yours?
What's my body count? What's the term in England when you want to invoke the Fifth Amendment but you can't?
No comment.
No comment. There we go.
So no comment. So is yours over 200? 300. Yours is a lot more.
Sparta.
Wow, and yours is over 300, and then you want to get mad at 30. This isn't even a double standard anymore.
It's very different for men and women. Women actually appreciate the experience. That's just how they behave. It is what it is. And men don't. You can't get mad. Men and women are different. There are many advantages for women that men can't get mad about. Just like the idea that you can monetize your beauty. Men can't really do that in the same way. Period. You can be a pretty average woman and still monetize your beauty exponentially over the level that a man could. That's just what it is. Men can't get mad at that. We accept the facts and we don't try to do it. We do something else.
Like, he's just taking it too far. I think it's more attractive if a man doesn't, because if you can... No, it is. Like, if you can show discipline, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
No, because if for me, it shows, like, self-control and discipline.
Most men, if left to their own devices, want to have sex with as many women as possible. Men are designed to spread seed. We want quantity. Women are designed to protect their egg for the best seed. Women want quality. We're very different.
Do you think you're liked as a person?
That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. And my thing is create a legacy so that whether they like you or not, they respect you. Yeah. That's what I care about. I don't care if people like me or not.
Very important. It is much more important for you to be respected than liked. You can be liked and be disrespected, taken advantage of, tricked, bamboozled, everything else. If you are respected, none of that happens to you. So it's a lot more important for you to be respected. No one cares about being liked. If you try to be liked, you're going to lose in life. Be respected.
Because I'll tell you this, there's plenty of girls that I've had sex with that didn't like me, but they respected me. Because women must respect you to fuck you.
Yeah. Yes and no. So why wouldn't you?
Because I'm the man. You were attracted to me in the first place because of my lifestyle. I'm not going to change who I am because of a woman. When a man changes for a woman, he grows into something she's going to have contempt for. When a woman changes for a man, she'll grow into something he'll love. That's how I got you in the first place. Why would I change? And that's the biggest mistake that guys make, is they get in a relationship, they get comfortable, they get fat, they lose their ambition. I got her, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And that woman starts to lose what? Respect for him. When a woman changes for a man, he gains more respect for her.
Men and women are so different, aren't they?
Yes, women will not respect you if you change for them. Do not. Do not. There are some women who try to build a man into something else, but in all honesty, they don't know how to create men. Men have to create themselves. A woman cannot create you. She will be upset with what you've become if you start to listen to her and do what she asked you to do as far as making changes about yourself. Now, if you're overweight, something like that, you should be on that on your own. You shouldn't need a woman to tell you. But once you start doing things that she asks you to do, personality-wise and all that, listen, she's going to lose attraction for you nearly immediately. So stick to your guns. If you were able to obtain her a certain way, just stay that way. Only improve yourself. Don't allow anyone else to try to improve you.
They are. When you're changing for a woman, that inevitably puts her in a leadership role. And when a woman's in a leadership role, she's going to lead you all right to the end of the relationship.
Justin.
Yeah.
No, why not?
I'm not going to let a girl look at my phone.
Why?
Because I'm going to have other girls in there. 100%. The thing is that most women can't handle the truth. So I'm very big on like being upfront and letting her know, listen, I'm going to have other girls, whatever it may be, but you're the main one. And she's got to accept that. But her looking at my phone is just going to hurt her feelings.
So you want an open relationship?
Yeah, open on my end, close on her end.
That's not fair, though.
Life isn't fair.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like the kind of relationship that I want isn't that.
What if I told you women don't know what they want in general?
Some don't.
Most don't.
Some.
This has been statistically proven that women don't know what they want.
Cool. In your little incel culture podcast.
Okay. Women don't know what they want, and worse yet, they're not going to be honest about what they want because of strict societal standards where they don't want to look like hoes.
Yeah, because you guys call women hoes.
Rightfully so.
Not rightfully so.
Why can we call guys bums, but we can't call girls hoes?
Why can't a woman just like be sexually liberated? Genuinely, why does she have to be a hoe?
Okay. Do you want to be a hoe?
I don't really care what you think if you're going to say I'm a hoe.
No,
but I'm saying...
No, I'm asking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm asking you this as a question.
I don't want to be labelled a hoe for what you guys paint as a hoe.
Well, let's peel a layer back. Do you want to go out and have sex with a bunch of different men at the same time?
Why would I want to do that?
Okay. You want to hear something magical? Most women don't want to do that. Most girls don't even want to be hoes, yet girls argue and, debate to be hoes. I don't get it. They don't even want to be hoes.
We don't, but it's just a double standard. We don't want you to...
Wah.
Sorry?
Are we going to cry? There's a bunch of double standards that don't benefit
cry,
men.
But I'm just saying, so I feel like...
And that is pretty weird. And what you have to understand is that women have a very competitive nature as well. They will advocate for other women to be able to be 304s. Right? Not because they want to, but because they want their competition to be worse. Women will advocate for curves, right? These curves we talk about. Go ahead. You look good. You're a 10. So their competition will be worse. Just understand, ladies, when you take advice from someone like that, like this, it's not to help you. It's to make their competition worse. They're advocating for things that they don't want. She would advocate for curves. She would advocate for no body shaming, right? But as you can see, that's not her. Why are you advocating for things that you don't care about? To make your competition worse. Men, any men's advocate channel, they encourage men to do better. Women advocate for women to do worse. Why is that? Carry on.
This hyper-independence liberation movement is because we're just sick of men like you that want to just attack women for being able to do something that you guys are doing just as much.
I'm not attacking. I'm reporting
No, but
a
I'm
fact.
saying in general,
I'm reporting a fact. If a woman is promiscuous, she is by definition a hoe.
Okay. And you, sleeping around?
I am a homemaker.
Right. Homemaker. You're just an idiot.
Men can't be hoes.
Y'all gotta watch the Jesse Owens clip about that homemaker thing. Hilarious. He did it versus Amber Rose. One of the most hilarious clips that you will ever witness. Look that up when you get a chance. Carry on.
Okay.
Men that have sex with a lot of women are successful.
In your eyes, as men, this is the thing. It's like this brotherhood thing. It's you guys. It's
Incorrect.
you.
Okay, let's go back to biology.
And no, we're not going to keep going back to biology, actually.
Because that's where it all stems from.
Why does he keep going back to biology? We're not in a science lesson.
Only because of the science behind it.
So, what would you do if I was going on holiday every other month?
You'd be single.
Really?
Are we going together?
Finish her.
Sometimes. Oh no, you'd be single.
What would you do if I couldn't cook?
You'd be single.
Can you cook?
That's irrelevant.
No. Can you cook though?
I mean, can you fight? Let's ask pointless questions.
How is it a pointless question? I'm trying to get to know you.
Because that's your job.
What's my job?
To make sandwiches.
Did he actually just say, my job is to make sandwiches?
How am I going to fight off the intruder?
Hey, listen. I could definitely appreciate many points that that Myron Gaines is making here today. Now, what I will say is the way that he presents it, he's not going to change it because it's polarizing and it's part of the secret of his success. It's what's been able to catapult him and his podcast to the level that they are at right now. So no one can ask him to change it because it's obviously a very good tool to get to where you want. But what I will say is this. When you present ideas in this manner, this has to be strictly for men because women will not listen to these ideas when you present it like this. They just won't. And you will be labeled as misogynist if you behave like this. And I don't see anything wrong with it, but you just have to understand what the consequences are from it. It works for him, so I don't think he should change it. But I see why it doesn't work for the women. It's very difficult to observe language like this, especially if this is your introduction to what they describe as the manosphere or any man advocate channel. This is when they witness this in this manner, it's going to be very difficult to digest. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. We're going to carry on.
If you don't make sandwiches, I need sustenance.
You're a dick. What would you do if I earned more money than you?
It would never happen.
How do you know that?
Because no girl's going to match my ambition or drive.
I'm quite an ambitious woman.
LOL. That's cute, but it would never happen. Men build the world for real.
Like, why is the goal always about like being on top, firstly?
Well, missionary is a fantastic position, first of all. And the other reason why men have to be on top is because that's the only thing women respect.
There's so many people that just like a nice, quiet, humble life.
Here's the thing. All women, you know what?
Stop saying all women as well.
Okay, now that you said that. All women want a guy that's better than them.
Why do you get annoyed and so frustrated about men that are simps?
They're giving women that don't deserve attention and validation, messing up for everybody.
It's nice when you have men that are attentive to your needs.
By you being successful and being the man that she wants in general, you're already attentive to her needs.
What would you do if your family didn't like me?
Too bad. I've made, mistakes in Islamic culture, but my parents trust my judgment and they would accept it.
What would you do if I had a lot of male friends?
A girl that has a lot of guy friends is a problem. That's a liability. Male friends, big red flag. If a girl has a bunch of male friends and she's not willing to give that up to be with you, for the streets. Women.
I certainly agree with that.
She belongs to the streets.
Women don't need men friends hovering around them. On this side, we call them orbiters. That's the term. They are orbiters, men who are around just waiting for that moment that your man slips up and does something that infuriates her enough for you to swoop down and smash and have the goodies to your own. That's generally why men hang around women. They are orbiters, just waiting for their moment, waiting for their shot, waiting for their chance. Not respectable in this community at all. Trash you are, if that's what you are. Go get your own. There's plenty of women available. Go get your own. But they exist, and we must understand that they exist. We're going to carry on.
Value a man that has social proof. Men don't care about a woman's social proof. When you have friends, it's a liability. When I have friends, it's social proof. It makes me more attractive. It makes you less attractive.
What would you do if your friends were liking my pictures?
I don't associate with men that can't attract women. All my friends are good with women. And there's a bunch of reasons for this, but you can't hang out with simps. You can't have friends that are thirsty for women. Yeah, simps mess everything up, but it makes it better for guys like us, man. We just come in and it is what it is. We clean up. Anytime a woman is the focal of a man's life, it's a problem. No. 100%. And the only way a man can give a woman the best life is when she's not the focus.
I don't think so.
Well, that's easy for you to say as a woman.
What would you do if I wanted to start an OnlyFans?
You're serious?
Yeah.
You'd be single.
Why'd I be single?
Stop the presses, cuh. No. No, 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 no. Under no circumstances should you allow your lady friend, girlfriend, whatever, wife, whatever, to start an OnlyFans. That's out. That's out. Now, you can't stop her if that's what she really wants to do, but you should have never gave her a permanent position in the first place because she didn't deserve it. No woman that I would ever court would ever consider something like this. They have to actually find that disgusting for me to pay attention to. That's just what it is. That's unacceptable behavior. What I see, there is no access to for anyone else. That's for me and me only. That's just how it's going to go. And you should think the same as a man.
Because I'm not going to have my girl out there on the internet showing her butthole for $3.99. Your girl wants to do OnlyFans? Bro, you ain't got a girl. You got a 304. To the streets she shall return, I'm telling you, or else your life is going to suck.
To the streets.
But what if I just wanted to make my own money?
Can't do it being my assistant or something else?
Your assistant, an actual paid assistant?
Yeah, paid by penis. You're getting everything else. You get the lifestyle, you're living for free, traveling the world, whatever it may be. You get the title of my last name. It's a W for you all the way. You get seen in public with me.
His ego is through the roof.
I can't fraud. His ego is over 9,000. Seriously. It is what it is. Definitely. But what you have to understand is that women made it like this. It's not like this just because. Women reinforce this because he represents what many women are attracted to. Your ego doesn't just get like that out of nowhere. The opposite sex gives it to you. What you do with it is, of course, your responsibility. We're going to carry on.
How do you think you've done on the date?
I thought this was supposed to be a date.
Yes. Oh, would you like me to be more
Exactly.
submissive? Oh my God. Hi. would that make you feel better?
It would, but it's okay. It was a debate. It's fine.
Really? So next time, if you want to date...
A debate date.
So if a
Debate
woman
date.
wants to date you,
Yeah.
she just has to come being a pick-me.
I mean, giving a man what he wants, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, of course not.
You're expecting a masculine man that's a leader, ambitious, etc. So I expect a woman that's feminine and submissive. I don't understand why it's a crime for a man to want a woman the opposite of him when women want the opposite of themselves. Being toxically masculine is bad, but that's what women really want.
So if I surrender and be more submissive...
It'll make you way more attractive.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I would take you on a serious date if you were submissive.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So we're just going to...
Is this the part where we cut the camera? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll keep it rolling for this. Exhausting. That was heavy.
It was fantastic. I won the debate.
Yeah? She likes you?
I think
That's
she
what he was
respects me.
concerned about.
This just
when he
turned
won
into a
the
debate, and this is the problem. Like, he doesn't let me just challenge him and not every day argue, you know?
I don't feel like I got grilled at all. Like I said, I'm a professional when it comes to deciphering womanese. And I do this all the time. I'm a professional womanizer / misogynist. So this is what I do.
I know he's got some deep-rooted issues that he needs to work on, because right now he's projecting it into society in the wrong way.
Well, I'm not delusional. So I'm going to say a 10 out of 10.
Once again, this is the kind of breeder man that I will not entertain. He believes in what he wants, and he probably does get women because of his bullshit that he spills. So that's on him. But for me, it's a no, so he's going to get a 3.2.
That's pretty low. That's pretty low. So, what we can gather from all of this is that women really want you to be a certain way, or they say they want you to be a certain way, but really would love it if you behaved in an entirely different way. And is exactly how you would sum up modern dating today. Let me know what your thoughts are down at the bottom. Please do. And we appreciate you for rocking out with us. I know this was one of the longer ones. This is like one of my lives. I will be returning to live at the top of the year. We appreciate you for joining us. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.